Well, the doorway closed, so there's no way we can reach up to Saturos, Minardi, Felix, and Alex at this point. But how are we going to get out of here? And where did that floating stone that has a Cyclops eye in the middle go to? Well, we're just about to see very shortly. Hey everybody, it's Double RPG here, and welcome to another episode of Double RPG Let's Play with Golden Sun on the Game Boy Advance. In today's episode, we're going to make our way out of Soul Sanctum, and we're going to go back to the Village of Vale and explain to them what has happened, and then we are going to prepare ourselves for a really big journey ahead of us. Anyway, let's get on with this episode that's already in progress, and as you could tell, Isaac and Garet are pretty much taking a look at the inner spot of Soul Sanctum and seeing how devastated it has become ever since the elemental stars have been taken off their, spots to where the stone statues of the goddesses were holding them. So, anyway, it's time for us to get out of here, but Isaac is surprised to see that the Wise One is just very close to them. Oh boy, is he going to attack him? And he asks, why are we standing there? And this place has become dangerous. So he's actually not all that evil? And Garet says, you're the dangerous one. Is he truly the dangerous one? It doesn't seem like that. And as you can tell, the Wise One is using his synergy to keep the eruption at bay. And the volcano will soon erupt, and he cannot hold it for much longer. And he says to us that we must leave this place. So, looks like he's going to be helping us out. The Elemental Gene, they have returned. Take out the Elemental Star. So, we will show him the Elemental Star. And let's see what he's going to do to it. And he says, return it to its bag. And he says that the Elemental Stars are moving away from here, and that the Elemental Star we have will act as a, I think it will act as a, homing beacon on where we can follow the elemental stars from where they're going. So yeah, what he's doing is he's actually releasing the elemental gene out of the goddesses, or out of the stone statues of the goddesses. And the world will be exposed to the threat of alchemy. Yes, alchemy can become the most horrible thing of mankind, especially if it's not properly used. And it definitely reminds me of Full Metal Alchemist, to be quite exact, because alchemy is considered to be the root of all evil, or to be the root of all evil to mankind. So yeah, very interesting. Okay, and the Wise One is still trying to keep the eruption at bay, but we're still trying to figure out a way how we can get out of here. Oh yes. Who would have thought it would have gotten that much stronger? And he's asking us to flee, and Garet says, but how can we get out of here? And the Wise One says that he will help them. So it looks like that big, huge, floating stone Cyclops statue, or of a god, is actually a good guy. And it looks like he saved them from, from the volcano erupting. So, yeah, we are going to have to, mate like a tree and get out of the Soul Sanctum. So anyway, we're going to make our way out of here, and once we're going out of the Soul Sanctum, we will not even get hit by random enemy encounters. So we are safe when trying to escape out of this place. And basically, we just need to run back the way we came, and then we should make it back over to the Village of Vale. And we'll just keep on going, and there's the stairway that will lead us down further. And I think this leads us back to the foyer, or the main area of Soul Sanctum. And we are getting closer to the exit, so let's go ahead and take this pathway and just get out of here. I think you can use the spell called Retreat that Isaac has, and that way you can be able to get out of Soul Sanctum a lot quicker. But you know what? Who cares? It's not that far away from here, so we can get out of here just fine. And if we come out of here, we are just one step closer to reaching the exit. And that's a pretty awesome music that's going on in the background. It really gets your heart racing when there's a very intense situation that's going on. Okay, so we're finally back out here in front of the Sanctum, And we are going to go back down to the village. And it looks like everybody in the village is very curious as to know what has happened at the Sanctum. And the priest says, or the Grand Healer says, that that Mount Aleph was inactive. And everybody is getting curious to know, you know, where Isaac and his friends are located, because they went up to Soul Sanctum. And the mayor says that they were to study alchemy. But what does it have to do with the eruption? Well, that's something that both Isaac and Garet are going to have to explain. So, anyway, they walk down the stairs, and Garet gets really surprised to see that everybody is right there. But I don't think we should go back up to Soul Sanctum. I think we need to tell him the truth as to what has happened. So anyway, we're going to walk over here to the village elder, the healer, and all the other villagers. So anyway, let's just go over there and talk to them, and we will tell them what has all happened. And it looks like a big burden is going to be placed on both Isaac and Garet very shortly. But anyway, were Jenna and Kraden with you? They were, but not anymore. And they were taken away. And the Grand Healer says that it's all very complicated. So yeah, I think we're gonna need to go somewhere within this place, so that way we can, you know, tell them all exactly what has happened. So yeah, we need to come inside the Sanctum here, and we need to explain everything to both the Elder and the Grand Healer. And Isaac's mother, Dora, is going to want to hear about all this too. So anyway, here we have this little, monochrome segment here going on. Basically, it means that the characters are doing some really fast, you know, conversation, and they're talking ahead of time so they can, you know, portray the story to everybody without, you know, explaining in great detail, because I'm pretty sure everybody kind of would have gotten a little bit complicated if there was a little too much text within the story. Then things probably would have been, And we have officially completed the story to him. And the mayor says that he is very surprised to know that there's actually the place where we found the elemental stars is the true heart of Soul Sanctum. And that both Jenna and Kraden were taken as prisoners, and Isaac reconfirmed them that they are prisoners. And they wonder if they can actually be saved. And Isaac believes so, because Felix is with them. Like I said, Felix doesn't even seem like he's fully in league with the main antagonist. Something tells me he has a different agenda on his hand. And looks like the Grand Healer was speaking to the Wise One just now, Guardian of the Elemental Stars. And he says that the Wise One told him what happened in Soul Sanctum, what truly happened, because I'm sure someone of a higher status, you know, of a higher deity, needs to explain everything truthfully. And Dora asks if the volcano from Mount Aleph will destroy Vale. And the Grand Healer says it's impossible to stop now. But is it going to be destroyed? And he says Vale will be safe. The Wise One will prevent the lava from reaching us. So, looks like the town of Vale is going to be saved after all. But is there something that's worse than Vale's upcoming destruction? Or Vale's evasive destruction? Or from them being, you know, evaded from the present destruction that was supposed to hit them at first. But the Grand Healer says that there's something that is far worse than Vale's destruction going on, and a terrible power is about to loom, based on the elemental stars that, you know, that Saturos and his companions have, and they hold incredible powers. And it's just as I said, the elemental lighthouses will lose that power onto the whole world of Wayard. And when the stars are thrown into their respective elemental beacons, then they will ignite the lighthouses to unleash, you know, alchemy onto this world. To save or destroy, our inaction may bring about its destruction. So, does that mean we have to stop them from lighting the lighthouses, or does that mean we have to make sure that the lighthouses are activated? That's very interesting. Okay, so anyway, the Grand Healer is looking at Isaac and Garet and says that acquiring the elemental stars is the fate of those two alone. Well, it would have to be, since, you know, Isaac and Garet were with Jenna and Kraden up in Mount Aleph. So, yeah, it would make sense. So, as you would have guessed, and as I've been saying, there is a big journey ahead for our young heroes here. And they do each share responsibility for this, and that I agree with. But hey, how can you blame them? I mean, anyway. And the Grand Healer asks us if we will accept responsibility for this, and we say yes. If you say no, then automatically the game will end. And you will, it will say the end or anything like that, and you won't be able to go any further. So you have to make sure you say yes at this spot, so that way you can make sure you, you know, make sure that you go on this quest and keep on going with this game. And yeah, we're gonna keep on going. And there's the Wise One coming back. You two are quite brave to take on this quest. I shall be watching you. Choose your destiny wisely, young ones. He says, choose your destiny wisely. Either saving the world or let it be destroyed. That is a very good riddle. Does activating the elemental lighthouses save the world, or does it bring destruction? It's like they don't even explain it. And the Grand Healer says that Felix must unlock the power. So, yeah. I think this is giving us some hints that what Saturos and Minardi, or what Felix is trying to do, may actually be for the benefit of good. But it's not that easy to say right now. It's still, I mean, things are still kind of vague at this point. But that does not mean that we can let Saturos and Minardi get away with them being the jerks that they are, with them trying to do everything they can, and even if it means using harsh and drastic measures to hurt people to get things done their way. So, yeah, looks like they are going to have to be stopped regardless. Anyway, that looks like that was all that the Wise One can give to us, so looks like that trip is going to be commencing a lot sooner than I expected. Anyway, so the Grand Healer leaves the Sanctum, and everybody's going to be leaving. So it looks like that the journey is either going to take place now, or it's going to have to take place the next day. Hey, isn't it almost time to meditate? Seems like it. For the priest size. It's like, you know, everything was very serious in this meeting. Now it's time to do what we do best. We're gonna go meditate, so that way we can relax. Well, nothing is gonna be relaxing on this, you know, with the fate of the world at the hands of two people. Hands of two teenage kids. So yeah, it's very interesting. You're either gonna save the world or let it be destroyed. It's kind of like, it's kind of, you know, plays the same role. I think Final Fantasy 13-2, from what I've learned about, actually kind of draws inspiration from this. Because if you haven't learned about the spoilers to Final Fantasy 13-2, you might actually be in for a big surprise as to, you know, what the ending's going to be like. But I'll just keep my mouth shut on that, because I'm pretty sure there are some of you that are anxious to play Final Fantasy 13-2. I am kind of anxious, but not 100% anxious for that, but I'm actually more anxious for Tales of Grace's F. But, you know, it'll be nice to see what all is held within, you know, Final Fantasy 13-2 when it releases at the end of January, you know, for the States. And then at the beginning of February for both Europe and Australia, I believe. And there are a couple of kids there at the town square. And, And one of them asks, what's the matter? And the little girl says that Isaac's mother, Dora, is not there to see Isaac and Garet off. And yeah, over at the entrance of the village square, Isaac and Garet are about to leave on their quest. And everybody is about to give them a bidding farewell, you know, for being very big part of the village, for, you know, with them growing up. And it's going to be quite a while till we come back. And we got an herb from Garet's sister. I know not to drink stagnant water, sis. And don't listen to him, Isaac. He's a pig. He'll eat anything that's not tied down. Oh, jeez. Come on. Is there something else that we can get? Looks like it. And Dora actually is giving us some catch beads. So yeah, this is a new type of synergy that comes from an item that we can hold within us. So yeah, we're going to be using that, you know, using that spell called Catch to, you know, solve some puzzles, or maybe grab some nuts off trees so that way we can have healing items. But anyway, you get the idea. And, you know, it's a very hard time because Dora doesn't want Isaac to leave since he is very young. Yep. And they can't keep standing like this forever, or they will never get their mission completed. And everybody says farewell. And so our journey begins for both Isaac and Garet. But our journey will not get started until the next episode, so we're going to end things off right here. Next time on Double RPG Let's Play with Golden Sun on the Game Boy Advance, we're going to resume where we left off, and we are going to start our journey to make sure that, you know, we can either save the world or let it be destroyed, or try to get the elemental stars back. But it's going to be a long and treacherous journey that will span not only in one game, but in 2 games. But we're going to get through the first game from where it is. Anyway, gamers, if you have not done so already, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter with the links in the description. And if you like what you saw, then be sure to rate this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments below to let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Anyway, gamers, take care of yourselves, have a great weekend, and have a Merry Christmas. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. See you guys then.